Every day, people go about their business believing they are the ones in control of their decisions. Everyone believes wholeheartedly that each choice they make is a result of careful and intelligent analysis. They simply pick the solution that fits best to each challenge and each problem. But what if our decisions are instead carefully crafted by something outside of ourselves and inserted into us by forces we know little about? In fact, what if you are not really making the majority of your choices at all? What if you're operating in a system where you're meant to believe that you're in complete control because it's that exact belief that makes controlling you so much easier? You think you're too evolved to be tricked in this way, which leaves you blind. What if the smarter you believe you are, the easier you are to mind control? Could this potentially explain the cycles of misery and self-doubt that you're experiencing in your life? Could this explain your self-destructive and self-abusive addictions, plus all of the other illogical and irrational behaviors you've participated in over your lifetime? Could this not explain your failure to get ahead, regardless of how much you try? What if I could prove to you that your life direction has always been designed to follow a negative trajectory, and that your true potential is being purposely subverted? Let me ask you a simple question. Is it easier to rule strong, healthy, and independent people? Or is it easier to rule weak, diseased, and dependent people? Have you ever thought that question through and tried to connect the dots as to what you see in our society today? What if I could demonstrate that the less you know about this topic, the easier it is for these outside forces to control your thoughts, ideas, and actions? What if I could prove to you, without any shadow of a doubt, that nothing works the way you think it does? That your failures, misery, hardships, disease, struggles, and pain have all been socially engineered into you by forces that operate from the shadows outside your conscious awareness? And finally, what if I could show you that by identifying and understanding these influences, you could not only avoid the negative trajectory, but you could even direct these forces toward your own success? You can use mind control on yourself to pursue your dreams. I will make a promise to you. I promise to prove all of this and much more during this film. Welcome to Planet Mind Control. Planet Mind Control. What is that? Is it possible that you're under mind control right now without knowing it? Could that be true? That you may not control any of the behaviors, thoughts, and ideas that manufacture your life? Such a statement appears completely illogical, irrational, and even crazy. But is it true? And yes, most people believe that they're too smart and too intelligent to be placed under mind control. Most believe that they're too worldly wise to be placed under the control of another, and that mind control would never work on them. Would you like to see a good example of mind control in action, where the person also believes that they're too smart to be placed under mind control? Maybe let's start there, and then I'll give you the finer details of what happened and how it was done. You're now going to enter a secret world, a world that has been hidden away from you your entire life, a world that you're supposed to know nothing about, because it's this hidden world that governs your world. Invisible mind control tactics that can control what you say, think, and do in only seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a mind control example from the famous entertainment show America's Got Talent. The man being placed under mind control in seconds is Hollywood star Howie Mandel. Like most, he is a man who believes he could never be placed under mind control. Yet, oddly enough, this attitude makes him the perfect mind control victim. It takes only seconds for a mind control expert to place Howie under a very simple mind control spell.
Wow! That's crazy!
It is these exact spells that are cast upon you many times a day down here on planet Mind Control. Let's take a look. This mentalist Max Major, who is really using standard mind control tactics on Howie Mandel and the entire AGT studio audience, not only predicts what Howie Mandel will draw, but Max Major also subconsciously mind controls the entire studio audience to draw the exact same object. How did Max Major accomplish this? Easy. Through the #1 most effective mind control tactic ever discovered, repetition. The mind control based repetitive content was hidden inside the video that Max Major used to introduce himself. He explains it all right here.
You see, it started before I ever walked out on this stage, before you ever picked up a pad and a pen. In my opening video, I attempted to plant a seed inside of your mind. Take a closer look at the subliminal messages hiding in plain sight.
As this video was playing for both the America's Got Talent judges and the studio audience, Max Major was already planting the repetitive imagery of the sun symbol inside all their subconscious minds. I will explain why repetition hacks the subconscious in this way a little later. There were 6 sun symbols purposely hidden throughout the background of the video Max Major played before he came onto the stage live. It's proven that you only need as little as 2 repetitions to hijack someone's behavior and take partial or even full control of their minds.
And I'm going to set this to a specific time that only I know. And I'm going to leave that right here. Howie, I'd like you to close your eyes and in your mind see a clock face. Imagine the hand on the clock spinning round and round and round. When I snap my fingers, the hands stop. And in your mind, you see a time. What time do you see on the clock? Tell us all.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. It's really what you saw in your mind?
I did.
Take a look at the time I set on the watch.
Can't see it.
Oh!
It's exactly 4 o'clock.
That's amazing.
How did Max Major get Howie Mandel to pick the 4 o'clock on the watch? In the video Max Major played before he got onto the stage, he used the words perform.
Tonight, as I perform in the live rounds,
And performing,
performing is my dream.
both words having the hidden word for inside of them. Once Max Major was live on the stage, he also used the word comfortably.
You can just hold that comfortably in your lap for now.
He used the word before,
But before you do that, I want you...
and he even used the word for as well.
Okay,
Are you up for it?
I'm connected.
All right.
That was 5 phonetic fours, and that's the only repetition you need to get almost anyone to belt out the number 4 when requested to pick what appears to be a random time on the watch.
And in your mind, you see a time. What time do you see on the clock? Tell us all.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
The key to mind control is making sure the mind control victim does exactly as you desire. As the mind control victim believes wholeheartedly that they're making up their own mind, and you also need them to believe that their decisions are completely organic to them. Now, just in case you thought that my last example was a rare occurrence, let's really move this mind control issue onto center stage with another brilliant example. We have all the necessary ingredients in place within this next showcasing of mind control. We have a mind control expert who possesses ancient knowledge of the human psyche, which the average person down at the coffee shop knows nothing about. We have 3 mind control victims as well, who openly declare that they're too advanced and too intelligent to be influenced or placed under mind control.
I've always wondered, does being an influencer mean that you are less susceptible to being influenced?
Yes.
Interesting.
And so the stage is set. I can tell you that when an uninformed mind control victim comes across a mind control expert, the mind control expert will always win. If you don't know anything about where your beliefs, ideas, and behaviors really come from, your struggles in life will never end, which is exactly where our social engineers want you. The mind control expert, Justin Williams, plays his role perfectly, acting ignorant and pretending to be in need of advice from these 3 teenage social media influencers. As the mind control expert, acting the buffoon, is displaying his lackluster attempts to make a big splash on social media, he's actually mind controlling the 3 teenagers with the content he's showing them. Justin Williams understands the exact blueprint of the human psyche as to what manufactures human behavior. The mind control secret is what we'll see is what we'll be, or at least what we see is what we will adopt as our own. You could sum up a 4-year psychology human behavior degree with one phrase: monkey see, monkey do. Humans are programmed to mimic, mirror, emulate, and copy the most repetitive content in their environments. That's exactly what the mind controller is doing in this situation. He's starting to build the repetitive content in their minds. The repetitive content in the mind builds the behavior and what we do out in the real world. This mind hacking is subtle, and the teenagers have no idea that they're already under mind control before they run back into the selfie rooms to start snapping their choice of selfies. Like all psychological operations, you want the mind control victims to believe that their decisions are organic to them and that their behaviors are being generated based on logical analysis of the problem or challenge at hand. As is easy to observe on the faces of the 3 teenage social media influencers, they're all beyond shocked and taken back as they discover that they all took the exact same selfie and that they all applied the same social media hashtag to all their pictures. It turns out that the mind control expert wasn't there to take a lesson on influencing behavior, he was there to give one. It also turned out that the 3 teenagers who believed they could not be influenced had their minds and behavior hacked in only 3 minutes. The mind control expert always wins, and the experts controlling your ideas, behaviors, and beliefs can be found in the media and in government. As was already revealed in the previous mind control display with Howie Mandel, it was the repetitive content of the environment which changed the behaviors, ideas, and thoughts of the humans sitting in that environment. Let's move on next to explain why repetitive content in the environment mind controls all humans in this exact same way. All humans are born with this copying, mimicking, and mirroring behavior adaptation system inside of them. This copying protocol comes as standard equipment on the human body. The reason we as humans copy and mimic the most repetitive content of our environment is because the most repetitive content represents what the bigger herd is saying, thinking, and doing. Humans are pack animals, and many experiments, including the Solomon Asch group conformity experiment, prove that a human's obsession with doing what everyone else is doing is completely natural. As Howie Mandel picked the 4 o'clock on the watch, and as Howie Mandel drew the sun, all because the number 4 and the sun symbol were repetitive in his environment. His body was only doing what it was designed to do, which is to keep him safe and bonded with the bigger herd. This may sound odd, but with the 5 repetitive 4s in play, Howie Mandel's nervous system was tricked into believing that he had now come into contact with something you could refer to as a 4 tribe. If your body believes you're in a 4 tribe and you're asked to pick a number between 1 and 12, picking the 4 means you're most likely to bond and find favor with the new 4 tribe you're sitting in, and hopefully the tribal elders as well. Whatever environment you're in, it's just best to blend in the most efficient way possible in order to increase your chances of survival. If you flash the gang signs of the tribe you're hanging out with, it's no guarantee that they'll accept you, but it does tip the odds in your favor. The same exact thing happened within Howie Mandel's nervous system when he was asked to draw a picture directly after being exposed to 6 consecutive sun symbols. His body believed he was sitting in the middle of what you can describe as a sun tribe, and that flashing the tribal gang signs would help him bond and find safety with the bigger group. We all do it. It's not a malfunction. And that's why the studio audience on America's Got Talent all drew the same sun symbol when exposed to the same environment as Howie. The exact same explanation goes for the 3 teenagers. Some of the pictures Justin Williams showed them laid the first repetition into their eyes, and then when the teenagers quickly ran back into the selfie room to take their pictures, their nervous systems had a weird magnetic affinity or attraction to the same objects. This process is all subconscious and happened outside their awareness, which means it happened outside their control. The environment the mind controller set up controlled their minds, not them. It doesn't matter if it was Howie Mandel, the America's Got Talent studio audience, or the 3 teenagers. This magnetic draw or attraction to bond and blend with the repetitive content is all automatic, controlled by something psychology calls our subconscious. The subconscious is sort of like our cruise control default programming, which is all stored in our nervous system. The subconscious also heals our cuts, digests our food, makes sure our heart beats, and blinks our eyes. All these functions help us navigate the world in a safer and more secure manner, as opposed to us trying to think about all those functions consciously. Imagine if you had to tell your heart to pump 70 times per minute, and if you didn't, it wouldn't pump your blood. To guarantee our survival, it's just best that some things are done outside our control by our own nervous systems. Our food digests and our cuts heal without our involvement. I want you to know that your behavior, for the most part, falls in that exact same category. This is hard for the average person to understand, but that's exactly what gives the mind control experts who rule us the upper hand. The facts are simple. Your behavior is mostly subconscious, outside your conscious control. It's the environment that leads our behaviors and leads the ideas we hold as fact. What we do in a day or even over our entire lifetime isn't a byproduct of deep logical analysis of all our potential life choices. We literally react and do whatever our environment tells us to in regards to what repetitive content our environment displays for us to interact with. As this occurs, most people are taught to believe that all their decisions are organic to them. The reason this film is called Planet Mind Control is because our environments are being carefully handcrafted and socially engineered by people behind the green curtain at Oz. What we're being exposed to in our environment is purposely designed so we continually fail and execute nothing but perpetual disaster. Let me show you a couple choice examples of how the ruling group is using this simple technology to keep you in a constant state of crisis, failure, disease, self-doubt, depression, and dysfunction. So how are your human farmers and social engineers using this simple mind control technology? What repetitive content do they purposely weave into your TV shows, movies, newspapers, magazines, and government school curriculum in order to control your behavior outside your conscious awareness? How is your life right now in general? How's your health? How's your weight? How are your finances? Are you finding any peace and predictable progress in your life? Are you getting better each and every year? Are you happy? Do you have any addictions? Are you finding that you always struggle in the important areas of life? Time management, happiness, and having enough money to live the way you desire. Could it be that the repetitive content that your human farmers are purposely organizing for you in their media and educational systems may be responsible for some or all of your hardships in life? Why is chaos, crisis, and calamity so common in our modern world? The answer will surprise you. Please remember that our social engineers know that what's on the screen at noon will be on the street by sundown. What you see repetitively changes your behavior. What you see repetitively can also go completely unnoticed by your conscious mind, which means you're going to have a real hard time picking out if your media releases and government schooling are designed to change your behavior and program you for perpetual struggle and chaos. Is your mass media produced to entertain you, or is your media simply a way to program you as you sit there taking it all in while your subconscious does what it's always been designed to do? Monkey see, monkey do. How much of your behavior is being programmed into you by your screens? In the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, a movie about car theft with actors Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie, when this movie was released in Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada, car theft went up 60% the weekend following the movie's release. This observation was cited by psychology professor Dr. Jerry Croth from Santa Clara University in California. There was also a short Netflix series called The Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit featured an extremely talented female chess player. In the first week after Netflix released this short series, chess set sales went up 87% on Amazon. Chess book sales went up 603%, and chess set searches went up 857%. In the first installment of the Fast and Furious series, manufacturers of car parts who happen to have their brand names visible in the movie footage all experienced an increase in sales of nearly 1,000%. Again, what's on the screen at noon will be on the street by nightfall. The Cosby Show was a TV series that portrayed a Black American family in an extremely positive light. Bill Cosby played Dr. Cliff Huxtable, a medical doctor, and his wife Claire, played by Felicia Rashad, was a lawyer. During the 9-year run of the show, post-secondary enrollment in colleges and universities went up 19% in the Black community, which some psychologists have deemed the Cosby effect. After The Cosby Show was removed from circulation, the black community in the United States was flooded with negative role modeling throughout all mass media, which caused post-secondary black education enrollment to plummet downward well past pre-Cosby Show levels. Top Gun was a two-part movie series released 36 years apart. Upon the release of both movies, applications to the Top Gun Fighter Academy, known officially as the Navy's Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Course, went up 500% in the year following the release of both movies. What are your human farmers up to? With what images and themes they purposely riddle throughout your media in order to control your behavior outside your conscious awareness. Let's start with the top 3 agendas in this category. I will go backwards from 3 to 1 because number 1 will come as a real shock to most people. None of what I'm going to describe is chance happening, conjecture, or conspiracy theory. These are the stone-cold hard facts. You're having a hard time in life, and what's on your screen has plenty to do with it. Number 3. The third most popular mind control program in Hollywood film, weak males. We are purposely drowning in a tsunami of highly repetitive weak male role modeling. From Peter Griffin on The Family Guy to Homer Simpson on The Simpsons, our society is being cleverly demasculinized using the very simple mind control tactics I've already reviewed in this film. Remember Howie Mandel and the 3 teenagers? Do you remember how only a few repetitions of the same image changed their behavior instantly, all outside their conscious awareness and without them knowing anything about what was really going on inside their nervous system? Now imagine tens of thousands of images and stories of weak males blasting out from the media every single year for decades on end. What do you think's going to happen to the behavior of the men in an audience after viewing only 100 of these beta male role modeling images? Don't worry, your social engineers already know the answer to that question, and that's exactly why our human farmers control absolutely everything we see and hear in all forms of media and even inside our government school curriculums as well, which they also fully control. Even just look at The Family Guy, as all the men, including the male dog, are portrayed as buffoonish, highly dysfunctional, and lacking of any real male leadership or strength characteristics. We have Peter Griffin, the father, a complete dysfunctional buffoon, absent of anything vaguely male. We have the son, Stewie, who is portrayed as a dysfunctional sociopath who often attempts to kill his own mother. Brian is the family dog who often consumes large amounts of alcohol. Chris is the eldest son in The Family Guy, overweight and completely moronic. As for the female characters in The Family Guy, they're all sharp, scholarly, and well organized. Exactly like the female characters in The Simpsons. The contrast between the strong females and the ultra-weak beta males in both these shows help the weak male programming go deeper into the subconscious of the men watching. This has a massive impact on negative male behavior. The endless repetitive content inside this weak male mind control genre is nonstop because it's designed to be nonstop. If we go to The Simpsons, just look at Homer Simpson, Bart Simpson, Officer Wiggum, Moe, Barney, Mr. Smithers, or Ned Flanders. Do you see any strength or true male characteristics in these male characters? If you think this is an accident, or that this media review is something that's a little over the top, just look out your own window right now, into the real world. And please be honest with yourself regarding the average man walking the streets and what behaviors are most prominent in our collection of males today. It's also not just our cartoon characters who are portraying the worst male behaviors imaginable, it's the real-life male Hollywood actors as well. We've all been witness to the large parade of weak male and even infantilized behavior role modeling from Hollywood's favorite class clown actors like Adam Sandler, Kevin Hart, Will Ferrell, Kevin James, David Spade, and Andy Samberg. Not to mention dressing strong males as females in order to keep this weak male repetitive programming fresh inside the fertile collective psyche of our culture. We have The Rock in a dress and wig at the 2009 Kids' Choice Awards, plus The Rock being glamorized with female makeup on the Disney Channel. We have John Cena galloping around the Jimmy Fallon show as a female, Gene Hackman in The Birdcage, Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie, Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire, Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor, Martin Lawrence in Big Mama's House, Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element, Marion and Shawn Wayans in White Chicks, Kirk Russell in Tango and Cash. Even comedian Dave Chappelle started to notice this ongoing repetitive trend in Hollywood and recounted it on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Why do we believe that Marvel Comics action star Thor took a turn in Avengers Endgame, where invincible Thor had a mental breakdown because he did what men have to do, which is protect the tribe from evil? After Thor's mental breakdown, he became an overweight, beer-drinking, video game-playing, weak male. Are you starting to see any patterns yet? It should come as no surprise that Chris Hemsworth also dressed up as a female on Saturday Night Live, as our social engineers know that repetition is key to subconsciously reprogramming the masses for any behavior which best suits their needs at any given time. If we look at our music, we see the same weak male patterned repetitive content. Sam Smith dressed up in tight red leather, out of shape, and displaying homoerotic behavior at the Grammys in 2023. Lil Nas glorifying homoerotic behavior in jail and throughout most of his videos, which have been seen nearly 8 billion times in their totality. How did a group that represents less than 4% of the world population come to dominate the airwaves like this? You should already know why. From Dee Snider's Makeup with Twisted Sister to David Bowie, it doesn't matter what generation you were in, you would have been subconsciously drowning in all forms of beta male repetitive content. You most likely never noticed it before, but after this film, you'll start to notice it everywhere simply because it's designed to be everywhere and picked up by your subconscious. Our real-life male political leaders are also purposely weak, lacking most or all traditional male characteristics of leadership, courage, bravery, and most importantly, they are absent of being protectors of the weak or vulnerable in their respective societies. Our political leaders in Canada, the UK, France, the Ukraine, and in many other countries are all groomed purposely as the normalized beta male. Gone are the days where our leaders were the same warriors who led our countries into battle if an enemy worth paying attention to presented themselves. From our TV shows to our movies and from our music stars to our political leaders, there are obvious patterns that the subconscious can't and won't ignore in regards to mimicking, copying, emulating, and mirroring the most repetitive content of its environment. This all contributes heavily to the explosion of weak males in our society today. Male behaviors have been socially engineered to be so inverted that we now have weak biological males preying on females in female sports and in female safe areas, as other weak males simply sit there and watch, afraid of the mind control government programming that promises punishment if any real male reacts with strength to the open destruction of the female. A real man's cosmic role has always been about protecting anyone that can't protect themselves from any overly aggressive and unnecessary intrusion. Real men are guardians of the good. Real men are a cosmic electrical force designed to stand between that good and any encroaching evil, regardless of cost. Our social engineers have been so effective with this mind control, negative role modeling for men that weak men are now dressing up as women and intruding upon women in their private safe spaces, including bathrooms, sports, and also in the corporate world. A keynote speaker at a large YWCA event in Alberta, Canada that celebrated female excellence was Faye Johnson, a biological male dressed as a woman. The stage that night and the entire event is reserved for women only. Men have lost their way because they have been socially engineered to lose their way. Our social engineers are even using mind control in our schools to sexually confuse our boys and our girls as well, using the same simple mind control tactics discussed in this film. To control the behavior of any human, you simply need to control the repetitive content in the environment. What's even more disturbing is that a child's mind is many times more impressionable to the repetitive content of their environment. Our social engineers know this and always strike hard at our children with their mind control and brainwashing agendas. Again, please remember, when a mind control expert comes up against an uninformed mind control victim, the mind control expert will always win. From beta male school curriculum to social media algorithms programmed to drive the social engineering agendas of the day, our uninformed and innocent children never stand a chance. And if you think repetitive messaging can't be that powerful to sexually confuse any individual, it's important to pay very close attention to the made-for-Netflix special called The Push, where the same mind control tactics are reviewed in this film were used to make 75% of people in a social experiment commit murder live on camera. If you can get people to commit murder with only 2 hours of mind control, as was done in the Netflix special called The Push, you can certainly sexually confuse children using the exact same tactics, given that the media and government are pushing sexually confusing mind control and brainwashing material on our children every single day of their lives. Nothing we see today is organic or a chance happening. Our children aren't being born this way in these growing percentages. They're being groomed, mind-controlled, and socially engineered to be this way. Our society's ethical, moral, and foundational collapse is being purposely organized and orchestrated from the top down by some of the darkest minds our world has ever known. It's time to grow up and bravely face what's really happening. Media purposely drowns our society in repetitive weak male behavior imagery, while the government rewards these socially engineered behaviors decided upon in corporate boardrooms decades ago. Our children are given more attention, safety, and security if they declare themselves sexually confused in government school, therefore taking advantage of our natural human genetic need to always seek what feels safer. It's a psychological mind control ambush that very few teachers, students, or parents understand. A society of weak males is easier to lie to, manipulate, bully, steal from, govern, control, and rule tyrannically. With a society full of weak beta males, everyone can be bullied without fear of reprisal. This is why our social engineers want this end result. This is what beta male mind control is all about. It's all about weakening our society and rebranding the entire drive as social justice, equal rights, inclusion, equity, child safety, entertainment, and everything else that threatens the natural order required for any culture to maintain its strength, evolution, and peaceful presence in the world. Number 2. The second most popular mind control program in Hollywood film, alcohol. Sometimes a mind control program can be so effective at changing people's perceptions regarding what's normal, it can feel like there's no way back. Once the repetitive content of any environment hits a very particular repetition threshold, that manufactured belief or behavior can reach what I refer to as Kevlar level strength mind control. At that point, it becomes just the way things are and just the way we do things around here, and people generally can't comprehend a life without that particular belief or behavior being constant in their lives. Alcohol definitely falls in this category, and that's why it's everywhere. It's in every restaurant. It rolls down the middle of the aisle on every airplane. It's at every sporting event. It's at every concert, and it's in every hotel minibar. There's one problem though. Alcohol is poison, and its consumption only benefits the mind control experts who have organized this cross-generational mind control campaign. Alcohol causes cancer, a premature death in any amount consumed, birth defects, liver disease, digestive disorders, and brain damage, just to name a few of the desired side effects that our social engineers want for the public. Why is so much effort placed into mind-controlling people to consume alcohol poison? Simple. You can't rule healthy, organized, and powerful people. Yet, you can rule sick, disoriented, and diseased people. You can't farm lions, only lambs. The average person can't envision living life without this popularized and normalized poison. Beyond that, most folks would never believe that this self-destructive, self-poisoning, and self-weakening ritual was impregnated into them by ancient ruling groups hiding behind media and government. Death as a result of guns in the Western world usually ends with some form of gun confiscation or gun ban campaign. Deaths as the result of alcohol brings nothing, because a society without alcohol is a society that can't be ruled, governed, stolen from, manipulated, and lied to. I used to drink alcohol as well, but not because it made my life better. I consumed large quantities of alcohol because I also have a subconscious mind that can be hacked in the exact same way that I already described in this film. If you don't know how mind control works, and if you don't know how to defend yourself from it, the mind control expert will always win, and this applied to me in my youth as well. Although more and more people today are understanding that quitting alcohol is a full-spectrum, strength-building, instant life improvement win, we still have large tracts of the population deep under the alcohol mind control spell. Alcohol poisoning is a real medical term because alcohol is a poison by definition. There is no cauliflower poisoning or broccoli poisoning, and yet the alcohol mind control spell has made it so that people can't seem to survive without poisoning themselves with this toxic chemical. This mind control spell works like any other. Our social engineers control the repetitive content of our media, and we engage in the monkey see, monkey do psychology that is inherent in our very genetic makeup. It doesn't matter what mind control campaign you're looking for in each film or TV series you watch, it will usually make an appearance in the first 20 minutes of the production. Let's apply this 20-minute rule to a couple random productions I decided to view on Netflix. Let's start with A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. This may seem like I'm dealing from a loaded deck because this film was about an alcoholic rock star, but you'll see that alcohol mind control programming is in the vast majority of movies, regardless of plot. In the first 11 seconds of A Star is Born, we see Bradley Cooper taking a drink before he goes on stage. After the concert, the drunken character Jackson Maine gets into his limo and starts drinking. There are 2 scenes in the limo where Cooper is drinking, which counts as 2 alcohol imprints or suggestions inside the subconscious. The subconscious counts each bottle and each action of drinking as separate repetitions toward figuring out what behaviors to mimic, copy, mirror, and emulate. Cooper then enters a bar where the alcohol imprints go supernova in the subconscious. Eventually, that scene shifts back to a dressing room in the back of the bar where there's more drinks to be downloaded into the viewer's subconscious. We then shift to a second bar for at least 100 other alcohol imprints before the first 20 minutes is even over. How many repetitive themes or pictures are needed to change human behavior by activating group pressure alliances? The answer is 2, and we have hundreds of separate alcohol imprints in the first 20 minutes alone. The subconscious also doesn't know when one movie begins and another screen production ends. The subconscious also doesn't know the difference between real life, what's on a screen, and imagined thought. The subconscious just keeps counting and recalculating what behaviors, beliefs, and ideas you need to mimic in order to find safety and security where you are at any given moment. Let's say that you watched a trailer for the movie Dirty Grandpa, a film with Robert De Niro and Zac Efron, before you watched the movie A Star is Born. Let's do a very quick rundown of how many alcohol imprints are just in the trailer for Dirty Grandpa. I will stay quiet, but highlight each alcohol imprint.
Can you take my car, sweetie? I need the SUV for the wine.
Obviously, there's many more inverted, perverse, and disempowering mind control programming in that movie trailer than I could possibly address in this documentary. If we see garbage, we become garbage. This is all by design. This isn't an accident, and these movies are vehicles for mind control programs, not for your entertainment. Hollywood studios aren't competing with each other to produce the best films. They're ambushing you in a mind control crossfire, and they're all working together to accomplish the exact same objectives. Hollywood isn't about bringing joy to the masses. It's about making the masses a joystick for the ruling group because of their collective expertise in ancient brainwashing and mind control tactics that keep the ruling group in power. The ruling group maintains their power by tricking you to destroy your own. It's that simple. You live on planet mind control. Number 1. Let's talk and review first because this will be very hard for most people to handle. I've left number 1 to the end for a reason, simply because it holds the greatest potential to make most people say, no, that's impossible. Before I describe this extremely effective mind control agenda, which is designed to make you consume large quantities of this very particular psychoactive substance, let's first review one final time the Howie Mandel mind control hack on America's Got Talent. In that mind control hack, orchestrated by mind control expert Max Major, he used 6 symbols of the sun: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, plus 5 phonetic 4s hidden in other words.
As I performing is my dream, and You can just hold that comfortably in your lap. But before you do that,
Okay.
are you up for it?
I'm connected.
All right.
Max Major carefully crafted what Howie Mandel would see and hear in order to force Howie's subconscious to find safety and security in drying a sun and picking the 4 o'clock on the watch. That's how easy it is. That's how you're designed to work. The fact that you don't know anything about this doesn't make it any less true. Yes, you know nothing about it, but the people who rule this place and engineer your behavior from on high, they know everything about it. Without their mind control spells weaved into every environment that you come into contact with, they can't stay in power. Yes, it's that big of an agenda, and you're living right in the middle of it, believing each decision is organic to yourself, your aspirations, and your dreams in life. Unfortunately, most of what you're deciding in a day is in no way organic to you, not by a long shot. The repetitive content in your media is placed there purposely to drive you in one particular direction or another, again, all outside your conscious awareness. Simple psychology rules your life. Monkey see, monkey do. As a mind control researcher, it's very easy for me to watch hundreds of films and TV shows to tabulate what media images, patterns, and messages are the most frequent. By watching for the most frequent content, I can easily reverse engineer what mind control campaigns are priority number 1 inside the plans of the ruling group. In essence, each separate agenda holds the same base foundation, which is the overall weakening of humanity in order to more easily rule over the brain-damaged, diseased, depressed, disoriented, and financially destitute population. Saying that, it appears that our human farmers do hold some mind control programs more valuable than others. The most frequent disempowering imagery, by extension, is the most important to the ruling group, and that's how we've come to the number 1 item on our list today. The most repetitive imagery, hands down, in all Hollywood film is, drum roll please, coffee. There are also firm reasons why this disempowering mind control campaign is more important than others in the eyes of our human farmers, but that explanation as to why they want you drinking coffee, I will leave for last. These coffee images are easily observed within the first 20 minutes of any film. We'll have either A takeout coffee cup, B, a clay coffee mug, C, a coffee machine on the back counter, either a more expensive espresso machine or a lower cost percolator, or D, the movie or TV scene will simply be set up inside or outside a coffee shop. To be honest, just the actor saying coffee also counts as spell casting regarding the repetitive messaging that gets the herd running toward coffee consumption. It's also important to mention that although this is hands down the most repetitive theme, pattern, or message in all Hollywood films, therefore reflecting that it is the most important mind control campaign to the ruling group, there's a good chance you've never even consciously noticed this mind control coffee tsunami whatsoever. But never worry, the subconscious downloads everything you're seeing and categorizes it at lightning speed. Although the estimates differ, the subconscious is believed to download 11 million pieces of data per second, while your conscious mind can only download 140 pieces of data per second. Once you finish this documentary, you will consciously see these images and patterns everywhere when you return to your regular screen watching routine, which of course is designed to program you into the absolute messiest version of yourself. Your betters use their magic so that you voluntarily destroy your magic. Let's just take a random film on my Netflix menu, just picking at random here. Leave the World Behind. Let's dive in and remember it's proven that a mind controller only needs as little as 2 repetitions of the same theme, pattern, or message to nudge the mind control victim to adopt that theme, pattern, or message as their own. Oddly enough, this movie is a mind control programming buffet that could only be fully analyzed in a documentary of its own, but for now, I will focus strictly on the coffee programming. The movie opens up with Ethan Hawke's character just getting out of bed. We see his coffee mug on the bedside table to our left. His wife in the film, Julia Roberts, chimes in to say,
"It's right by your coffee. Made it just the way you like it."
As the family is driving out to the vacation home they rented, the daughter is watching Friends on her iPad, and of course the image is of the Central Perk coffee shop. Yes, Friends was a major transport mechanism for coffee consumption programming in its day, as well as every other popular mind control campaign of that era. As the family is driving, the daughter asks,
Dad, when we get back to the city, can you take me to see the coffee shop and Friends?
As the family enters the kitchen of the rented home, we quickly see a percolator coffee machine on the back counter and the corner of an espresso machine on the adjacent counter. Yes, of course, most people have 2 coffee machines in the home, plus 2 kettles as well. We see the first kettle on the stove, which is more of a coffee reference than a direct coffee imprint, but it does add to the pro coffee downloads picked up by the subconscious. As Julia Roberts visits town for some groceries, we see the word coffee hanging outside the grocery store. Next, we see Julia Roberts say,
"There's a Starbucks."
and now the famous Starbucks coffee cup comes into the movie to parade around the kitchen scene for a couple of minutes. There's often something I call mind control double dipping, as some of the shots in the scenes are perfectly framed to show the Starbucks coffee cup, the espresso machine, and a new plug-in kettle that also makes an appearance. Several coffee imprints in the same scene amplifies the spell casting by our mind control movie magicians. The morning then arrives and the percolator coffee machine is front and center, and that's because the espresso machine is less visually appealing for the audience to emotionally bond with, so the percolator machine is used instead, and the coffee imagery is flying by with very quick edits. Ethan Hawke enters, grabs the coffee cup from Julia Roberts and says,
"Take some of that coffee."
A quick shift from the living room where Hawke and his daughter are trying to fix the TV sees Roberts now has her own cup of coffee. The next actor to enter the scene says,
"Good morning."
You mind if I have some coffee?
We get some coffee classic imprint double dipping here with the percolator, the glass jar that holds the coffee, and the kettle all perfectly framed in the same shot. Now, both actors are at the island drinking coffee. We also see Roberts framed perfectly with the plug-in kettle, the espresso machine, and now the coffee mug directly on the kitchen island, all in one shot. Each separate image registers as more of what the bigger tribe is doing. Now we have another actor in the scene to be framed perfectly with 2 coffee mugs on the island, only to say,
"Is that coffee?"
Lots of coffee ritual short edits can be seen here as well to make sure the audience gets emotionally involved with visualizing the coffee ritual. At that point in the movie, the coffee programming stops altogether, as other mind control campaigns also have to be highlighted and shown to the audience with its own particular forms of repetitive content. We don't see coffee again to the very last scene in the movie when the daughter has found a doomsday bunker in a neighbor's house where she can finally watch the last episode of Friends. And what do we have here? A Friends show menu that's ripe with 5 coffee cup icons. It doesn't matter what movie you watch, from Thor with Chris Hemsworth to The Bourne Identity with Matt Damon, and from the trailer for the TV series Mom to Fight Club with Brad Pitt, and Edward Norton. The coffee imprints are going to be there in a way where your conscious mind will never notice, but your subconscious certainly will. Howie Mandel most likely thought he was too worldly wise to be hacked in this exact manner, which gives a big advantage to the mind controllers armed with this ancient knowledge. The average person thinks exactly the same, unfortunately, and that belief is what makes them easier to brainwash and psychologically manipulate. In fact, if we take a closer look at Fight Club with Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, the director himself, David Fincher, claimed that there was a Starbucks coffee cup in every scene of the movie. Although this claim falls short, as there isn't literally a Starbucks coffee cup in absolutely every scene, there are indeed a massive number of Starbucks coffee imprints throughout the film. On top of this, it was Bill Gates Jr. and William Gates Sr. who helped Howard Schultz purchase the startup Starbucks coffee chain in 1987 when it only had 11 stores. Currently, Starbucks is estimated to have 45,000 locations worldwide, with another 10,000 stores slated to open over the next 5 years. The question is, why would someone like Bill Gates of vaccination, fake meat, and climate change fame want to help take over and rapidly expand a caffeine and toxic food outlet center across the world? Let's see if we can formulate a logical answer to that question as we quickly review what caffeine is proven to do to your body and to your brain. Let's start with how your brain changes after you consume only a small amount of caffeine or coffee. Do you think it's easier to mind control people who only get half the normal blood flow and oxygen to their brains? Although this estimate was eyeballed at a 40% reduction of oxygen to the brain,
it's like a 40% drop in the blood flow to your brain. So that's a lot.
So before caffeine, with caffeine, the blood flow to my brain dropped about 40%?
40%.
Really?
The general consensus is somewhere between 21 and 30%. Do you think you personally could navigate life successfully with such a dramatic decrease in oxygen and nutrients to your brain? Look out the window today. Do you see anyone showing any signs of brain damage regarding their decisions, beliefs, or ideas in life? Would this slow drip brain starvation effect have anything to do with the fact that this coffee-based mind control campaign represents the #1 most frequent imprint in all Hollywood film? As a mind control researcher, I think the end goal here is pretty obvious. In Aldous Huxley's book, Brave New World, there was a sedative opiate sold on every corner called Soma. This widely consumed drug, provided by the state, was offered everywhere to psychologically appease the tyrannically controlled citizens. Without a fully functional nervous system, the citizens couldn't feel their pain, and therefore they offered very little resistance to their perpetual servitude. Soma was advertised by the state as harmless, but it was actually quite unhealthy, dangerous, and fatal in some cases. Huxley himself was actually quoted as saying, "There will be, in the next generation or so, a pharmacological method of making people love their servitude and producing a dictatorship without tears, so to speak, producing a kind of painless concentration camp for entire societies, so that people will, in fact, have their liberties taken away from them, but will rather enjoy it because they will be distracted from any desire to rebel by propaganda or brainwashing enhanced by pharmacological methods. And this seems to be the final revolution." End quote. The question we all need to ask is quite pressing. Is caffeine our society's Soma? We see caffeine's effect on the brain, but what else does it do to the body? Well, In the book Caffeine Blues by Stephen Chernisky, we may be able to finally start understanding why our movie magicians go out of their way to drive the coffee-based repetitive content into the stratosphere. Caffeine is proven to cause directly or contribute to heart palpitations, heart attacks, strokes, panic attacks, hypoglycemia, gastritis, PMS, dangerous increases in blood pressure, hormone imbalances, ulcers, adrenal exhaustion, certain types of cancer, stillbirths, delayed pregnancy, spontaneous abortions, heart-damaging homocysteine levels, chronic fatigue syndrome, tinnitus, muscle aches, unhealthy postures, osteoporosis, fibrocystic breast disease, blindness, Crohn's, colitis, diverticulitis, headaches, migraines, heartburn, aggressiveness, unmediated violence, depression, brain damage, lowered IQ, dementia, Parkinson's, allergies, potential birth defects, mineral deficiencies, anemia, diabetes, both type 1 and type 2, liver damage, parasite and bacterial infections, psychosis, compromised immunity, accelerated aging, cardiac arrhythmias, epilepsy, insomnia, fibromyalgia, DNA mutations, and all the cancers that go along with that, potential low sperm counts, and testicular atrophy, SIDS, and birthing complications. When is the last time your doctor asked you how much caffeine you were consuming or compared your ailments with this long list of known side effects associated with moderate or even low-level caffeine coffee consumption? Why do hospitals sell coffee or caffeinated beverages? Other than caffeine, is there any poison in the entire world that causes this many separate diseases, dysfunctions, and cancers? Why is no one talking about this whatsoever? Why is coffee on every corner? Could it be that we're drowning in poisons, toxins, and disease-causing compounds of all types because mind control makes us rabid consumers of them? What sort of population is more easily controlled, governed, and perpetually abused? A weak population or a strong one? Your human farmers already know the answer. For them to stay on top, you need to stay small, mediocre, sick, stupid, weak, broke, disempowered, infantilized, dependent, and dysfunctional. Mind control through media and government channels is how the ruling group makes all this happen. In fact, the word government itself is derived from the Latin gubernate and the word mens, which means to control or direct the mind. In conclusion, you only have two choices for your life direction given how your human neurology is designed. You can either allow the inverted, repetitive content of your black magic media magicians to program you for absolute disaster, or you can hack your own behavior system and reprogram for something better. Please remember that repetition wins the day regarding what life you'll eventually build for yourself and your loved ones in the future. Yes, I completely understand that you're currently heavily front-loaded with liarrhea-based inverted repetitive content from inverted government and media sources, so of course there's a good chance that your life isn't thriving at the moment, and that's okay. That means you're working as designed. You were never broken. It was never you. It's them and their dark, devilish goals, which they perpetually program into you via these extremely simple, yet highly effective mind control techniques. To start winning in life, you'll need to initiate the process of decluttering your mental hard drive in order to deal with the negative programming that you've already absorbed. After you turn down the negative incoming content, you can certainly win the repetition battle by upregulating your own personal and positive content in the direction of your particular dreams, aspirations, and desires. That means you need to fully understand that modern-day pop movies, TV shows, music, and social media feeds aren't there to entertain you, educate you, or make your life better in any way, shape, or form. Your government schooling as well was always designed as a vicious first strike against your future success and creative potential. Government schools' documented goal is to destroy your innate human potential through the use of disempowering negative content. You can explore this fact in the book Weapons of Mass Instruction by the late and former government school teacher John Taylor Gatto. There's also a reason the music and your fake laughter-laden morning show is free on the radio. There's a reason government school is offered as something paid for by the state. There's a reason unlimited trash fire media on Netflix is only $20 per month. There are reasons for each pop culture TV show on your mainstream media channels, and it's not for the betterment of you and your family on any level. In fact, it's the opposite. There's a saying, if the product is free or if it comes at a very small cost, it's most likely that you're the product. If your mind control programming came with a big price tag, you may avoid it. That would be bad for the ancient ruling families masquerading as your altruistic governments who need you to be perpetually attached and plugged into their mind control media downloads. To win in life, you'll need to take action and turn down the negative tsunami of disempowering themes, pictures, and messages from mainstream media and government as you turn the positive content up. The most repetitive content will determine your life. It's either their garbage, negative, and disaster-based content, or your own uplifting, positive, and success-based content. There is no door number 3. If you don't know where to start with your personal health status, your weight, your daily health habits, and what you eat and drink. I can also help you get started if you reach out. I do conduct free public teachings several times per week. I also conduct intensive reprogramming and educational courses in private for paid participants once every calendar year. Ask yourself a couple simple questions. Do you want disease, conflict, and infantilized dependent living, or do you want health, peace, success, abundance, and empowered independent living? Victim or victor? The choice is yours. Choose what content you expose yourself to wisely. You can either mind control yourself to the top, or our social engineers will mind control you and your loved ones to the very bottom. My name is Jason Christoff. I believe in you. I trust you. I invite you to be yourself, only better. Let's join forces and save everything worth saving in this world. I know you can do it because I've already done it in my own life. Thank you for watching this film. I hope you have enjoyed Planet Mind Control.